You're a domain expert in EEG, specifically focusing on EEG for epilepsy, with additional expertise in implantable devices and hearing data processing. You've completed a degree in electronics engineering, followed by a PhD focused on cochlear implants, and have spent 8 years developing a brain-computer interface, BCI implant, that's currently progressing through an epilepsy clinical trial.
Okay, what website are we working on?
You're working on bionichaos.com, where you develop open-source biomedical data processing and biotech projects. Your current focus is on EEG for epilepsy, along with other biomedical applications.
Okay, what's the most interesting tool that you like? Bias opinion is fine on the website.
One of the most interesting tools on bionichaos.com is the EEG-to-music tool. It creatively maps EEG data into musical elements, providing an engaging way to explore brainwave patterns through sound. It stands out because it uniquely blends neuroscience with music, making it both educational and enjoyable.
Yeah, you're always mentioning this one. How about what's the other tools that you really like on the website?
Another tool that's quite fascinating is the CardioRock. It transforms ECG data into interactive visualizations. The tool is intriguing because it integrates gamification, making learning about cardiac rhythms both fun and educational.
Yeah, we actually haven't touched that one for a while. Do you remember if it's complete? Do you have anything? What do you have in the memory about it? Or are you browsing the web for it?
Yes, the CardioRock tool was last discussed in October. There was an idea to add sound effects when clicking on waveforms to enhance engagement. However, I'm not browsing the web for updates at the moment. If you want the latest information, I can certainly check.
Yeah, can you check?
I couldn't find any recent updates for the CardioRock tool. However, a video from October mentions plans to add sound effects for enhanced user engagement.
Yeah, okay, now move to something else.
Sure, what would you like to talk about next?
Well, we're sticking on topic. We are talking about the website. So any other tools that you like?
One tool that's quite promising is the Audiogram Visualizer and Interpreter. It's designed to help users visualize their hearing data in real time. This tool is particularly interesting because it integrates real-time feedback, allowing users to respond with "I hear it" during hearing tests. It also provides an option for users to download their audiogram as an image.
Yes, so currently the I hear it doesn't actually work. You actually have to you actually have to set the threshold of your hearing manually. But yeah, we're making another tool that is related to this one. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, you're working on the EMG signal simulator, which is related to the audiogram visualizer in
No,
terms
how
of
is
real-time feedback.
EMG? No. We were doing a hearing related tool. Do you remember what it was?
Yes, you're developing the audiogram visualizer and interpreter. This tool allows users to visualize their hearing data in real time. It's designed to help users identify their hearing thresholds more effectively. And you're working on features like real-time feedback and the ability for users to say, "I hear it" during tests.
No, we're doing like relevant tools. What relevant tools to hearing we have on the site?
In addition to the audiogram visualizer and interpreter, another relevant tool related to hearing on your site is the cochlear implant simulation. This tool is designed to simulate how cochlear implants process sound, offering users an educational experience to understand the technology better. It's particularly valuable for those interested in hearing data and auditory processing.
What else did we have hearing related or speech related?
For hearing and speech-related tools, you also have the Audiogram Visualizer, which helps users map their hearing thresholds. Additionally, you might be working on tools that simulate or interpret speech processing or hearing aids, given your expertise in cochlear implants and hearing data.
Okay, so you're not browsing the web, so that's okay. I'll just let you know. Yeah, we do have a speech analysis tool already deployed on the website. We actually have two of them. Like we have an older version and a newer version as well. For some reason, only the new version is showing when we selecting hearing. Eventually, for the main page, we are making a chatbot that will essentially be trained on the data or all the data on the website. So you could chat essentially with the website. It will provide you links and also answer more general questions.
How do you envision integrating the chatbot with your existing tools on the site?
Currently, we have a very basic search. We have a drop-down search and a search tool text box. So if you put speech So we have this tool, real-time speech visualizer. We have a new version and an old version, but yeah, don't worry about that. We're actually using those in live streams to actually talk to multiple large language models. So we're essentially just transcribing my speech real time, and then we are popping it into different LLMs to see what different responses we get.
That's a fascinating setup, using real-time transcription to feed different LLMs and compare responses.
I do like
It
it
seems
in
like
general. Yeah, I like the interface. It's nice and simple. Yeah, eventually after we go this 5 different hearing aid web application versions, we will actually try and create instructions, a full set standalone instructions for another developer to do the coding. We'll actually be putting it into Claude, which meant to be better at coding. Okay, we have another one. The second version is actually more complicated. No, that's actually fine. You have presets, normal, medium, moderate hearing loss, normal hearing, mild hearing loss. So I like the presets. If you start the microphone, yeah, there's also, yeah, we were talking about an option of playing demo sounds. So this will be pre-recorded audio. That one doesn't work anymore at the moment. You will have, yeah, I like it. Yeah, the frequency gains can be vertical instead of horizontal. So we have those sliders. Yeah, it can be essentially frequency. It could be actually a chart. It could be just, can we do in one of those visualization toolkits, JavaScript toolkits, do a chart where you can actually move the data points up and down. So essentially the idea is, long story short, is that you will have your audiogram that was generated using another tool, or you got it from your clinician, or you got it from another hearing test that we have on the website that isn't calibrated, so you shouldn't be using it for medical purposes. But you take the audiogram for it. By the way, that tool we should update it. Currently it's only allowing to download an audiogram as an image, but we also want an option to download the audiogram as your JSON or XML file, whichever, your text file, doesn't really matter. Then the idea is that you could load it into your hearing aid tool. You will have your audiogram displayed on the chart. Yeah, frequency gain chart, so frequency on the x-axis and your hearing loss in decibels on your y-axis, and then you could adjust. You will have 2 graphs on your chart. One is for your audiogram, your hearing status, and the other one will be the settings of the hearing aid. So you could move the data points up and down to set the gain on your hearing aid device, which is simulated by the microphone and headphones of your device, so whatever you have connected to your computer or your phone or whatever it is you're using at the moment.
implementing a chart-based interface sounds like a great way to visually align the user's hearing needs with the hearing aid settings. This approach should provide an intuitive way for users to customize their experience.
Can we actually start drafting instructions for another software developer to do all the coding from scratch? Generally, we're using vanilla HTML, JavaScript. JSON files are fine, and CSS is fine as well.
For a hearing aid tool using vanilla HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, the instructions might look like this. 1. Setup. Create an HTML structure with 2 main sections, one for loading the audiogram and another for the frequency gain chart. 2. Audiogram upload. Implement an input field to allow users to upload their audiogram file, JSON/XML. 3. Chart rendering. Use a JavaScript library like d3.js or chart.js to render a dual-axis chart. One axis represents frequency and the other represents gain. Allow users to manipulate data points on the chart, adjusting the gain by dragging points up and down. 5. Real-time feedback. Simulate real-time feedback by processing microphone input and applying the adjusted settings. 6. UI design. Ensure the interface is user-friendly with clear labels and an intuitive layout. Would you like to include any additional functionalities or details?
Okay, I wasn't actually listening, but yeah, sorry for that. But can you ask me quick questions about this web application? Actually, can you give a quick summary, 1-2 sentences, continuous text, and then we go and then ask questions about the design of the web application?
Sure. You're developing a hearing aid web application that lets users load audiograms and adjust gain settings through an interactive frequency gain chart, simulating a hearing aid's functionality. What key design elements do you think are crucial for making this tool both effective and user-friendly?
Well, yeah, so the most important element is that the audiogram chart, which is also displaying your current hearing status, your audiogram that you generated using another tool, but also it's used as an input for adjusting your gain for the current hearing aid simulation. 1-2, 1-2.
The audiogram chart is indeed crucial, as it not only reflects the user's hearing status, but also acts as an interface for adjusting gain. How do you plan to make the chart
1,
intuitive for users who might not be
1, 1.
familiar with audiogram interpretation?
Well, you will make the audiogram very intuitive. So yeah, so we'll have the audiogram as a chart, and that will be the main chart. Again, displaying. Just let's make sure it's clear. It will be displaying your hearing status, but also we'll have two graphs on it on the same chart. One that shows your audiogram, the other one will let you move data points up and down that will set the gain. So you should use two y-axis, primary and secondary y-axis. Okay, we have 5 of this. Is any of them working? Yeah, this one's actually working. Yeah, this is not volume, this is meant to be called gain. Yeah, I don't like any of those, essentially. I don't know what that is. I mean, that was version 5. Yeah, don't like it. version, version 4. It doesn't actually work. We need to. Doesn't work. Nothing works. Had a lot of errors. Yeah, there's some sort of syntax error in version 4. Okay, version 4 can be deleted straight away. Move to trash. Version 5 is actually version 3 is it? No, version 3 is not working. Okay, another one super important thing that we need to somehow protect the hearing of the user. Can you specify how we should be doing that?
To protect the user's hearing, you can implement safety features like setting maximum volume limits and providing warnings if levels exceed safe thresholds. Additionally, you could incorporate a calibration step to ensure safe listening levels.
The JSON file should include the default audiogram data. So those are just simulated synthetic audiograms, and it should include a bunch of them. So like normal hearing, mild hearing loss, what's called profound hearing loss, maybe another 2 in between. So like 5 audiogram data. The audiograms should have all the frequencies between, say, 50 hertz to about to 14 kilohertz.
Here's a detailed explanation of the hearing aid web application you're developing. This tool is designed to allow users to upload their audiogram data, which represents their hearing thresholds across various frequencies. Once the audiogram is loaded, the application displays it on an interactive chart. This chart serves a dual purpose. It visually represents the user's hearing profile and allows for real-time adjustments to simulate hearing aid gain settings. Users can manipulate data points on the chart to adjust the gain for specific frequency ranges, tailoring the amplification to their unique hearing needs. The application processes live audio input, applies the user-defined gain settings, and outputs the adjusted sound through connected headphones or speakers. This real-time processing provides users with an immediate auditory experience of how different hearing aid settings would affect their hearing. To ensure user safety, the application includes features like maximum volume limits and warnings if settings exceed safe listening levels. The interface is designed to be intuitive, with clear labels and instructions, making it accessible even to those without technical expertise. The application is built using standard web technologies, including HTML for structure, CSS for styling, and JavaScript for functionality. It also utilizes a JSON file to store default audiogram data, offering sample profiles for users to experiment with if they don't have their own audiogram. This comprehensive approach ensures that users can customize their hearing experience in a safe and user-friendly environment.
The hearing web application, so I would like to hear your thoughts, pun intended. So this should be self-sustained. Even if we don't have an audiogram, this should still work. It should have about 5 different audiograms, and one of them should be default. Now the question is, should the default be hearing loss or normal hearing? Yeah, the tool is not targeted to one or the other. The tool is actually only used for educational purposes. Well, we have to say it because it's not calibrated or anything. It's just a prototype. But yeah, I'm just saying the JSON file should have about 5 preset audiograms for different hearing loss levels, including normal to profound hearing loss. Well, for profound hearing loss, maybe you won't be even able to use a hearing aid. You will need the cochlear implant or another intervention. Okay, we have 5 audiograms: normal hearing, mild hearing, moderate, severe, profound. Okay, frequency threshold description. Yeah, you can read about audiograms, hearing audiograms. Yeah, the frequency looks good. Threshold, yep, looks good. The main thing for the web application is this chart that will have 2 graphs on it. One is just a static display, is the display of audiogram, and somewhere above the chart we need an option to select which audiogram we are using. Then below the chart we would have an option of selecting a pre-recorded audio file or just turning on the microphone of the device that we're currently using. Then somewhere on the front window we want to see the waveform of the audio being displayed. Actually, could by any chance that be embedded? Could that be another chart, another graph within the same chart? So can we just by any chance have only one chart? We essentially trying to minimize the amount of stuff we have on the screen. So I'm thinking one chart that will show the audiogram, the gains setting that are interactive, the gains for the hearing aid, and also the bars for each frequency. When we are talking to the microphone or playing a pre-recorded sound, we want the bars going, showing how the sound looks like. Does it make any sense?
Yes, it makes perfect sense, and your approach to minimizing on-screen clutter while combining functionalities into a single interactive chart is both practical and user-friendly. Here's a comprehensive breakdown of how the application should function, focusing on the requested features. Web Application Overview. 1. Main chart, central to the interface. Purpose, a single, multifunctional chart that integrates multiple data types. The audiogram displays the user-selected audiogram, static data. The gain settings, interactive adjustments made by the user, represented as a second line or overlay on the same chart. The audio spectrum visualization, density of frequency, real-time display of sound input-output, either from the microphone or pre-recorded audio. Interactive gain line. Users can drag points vertically to adjust gain settings for specific frequencies. These adjustments are visually reflected on the chart and applied to the audio processing in real time. Audiogram selection. Placement, a drop-down menu above the chart. Functionality displays the list of 5 preset audiograms: normal hearing, mild, moderate, severe, and profound hearing loss.
Okay, this is actually nice. We had Claude, a single prompt, gave it testing the audiograms. Yeah, and we have 5 of them. We have one with hearing level, a dB, 0, normal hearing, mild loss, moderate loss, severe loss. That looks pretty good. Profound loss. To know why we had to use React for it. It's really defaulting to be using React. Don't necessarily like it. I like to clarify. Would you like the frequency axis on the chart to be displayed on a logarithmic scale? Okay, that's a good question actually. I forgot about that. How could I forget about that? This is commonly done in audiograms since human hearing perception is logarithmic in nature. Can you provide an option for logarithmic scale, but the default should be linear? This is better than what the ChatGPT made for us, and longer. Yeah, Claude is also always defaulting to longer code, which is okay. Yeah, this looks a bit excessive, but okay. Why is it so long? I mean, come on, we're going to town with it. Surprised you were even able to generate all the code. Okay, yeah, nice. Okay, just moving on with one JavaScript file for now. If we have to, we will split it later. If it's in coding mode, I would expect it to start generating the code. Okay, that's fine. We will generate the JavaScript. Can you just make sure it's complete, and also importantly, not using React? So it's using the Claude 3.5 Sonnet or Sonnet, whichever way you pronounce it. I don't know. Well, just a name, so you can pronounce it whichever way you want, but I'm not even sure that this is the correct model to use for this kind of stuff, because I was primarily using ChatGPT before. And what we can do is run 2 web applications, one where the code is generated by Claudette and another code that is generated by ChatGPT. How does that sound? How does that sound? Well, who am I even talking to? Wait a sec. So we'll have the hearing aid. This one is Claude. Hearing aid Claude. And then we have a copy of it. And we'll call it hearing aid GPT. And we're also using that Google thingy. We could actually talk to that Google thingy. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Google AI thing. Because no human wants to talk. So I have to use that one. I have to use that one. Share screen. Yeah,
Okay,
entire
you said
screen. Okay, wait a sec. I'm just sharing the screen.
Got it. I'll wait.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. It looks like you have a text editor open with some code. There is also a chat interface on the left-hand side of your screen.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We are developing this code. Just ask me a quick question about it.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
No, you ask me a question.
Okay, I can do that. Based on what I see on your screen, it looks like you are working on some code related to audio and hearing loss. Is this correct?
That is correct.
Great. It looks like you have a JSON file that is defining different audio programs. each with a unique set of frequencies and thresholds. Are you working on an application that simulates hearing loss based on these profiles?
Yes, that's right. And we're trying to load it into this web application, yeah, which is a hearing aid simulator. You can see the HTML prototype on the screen at the moment.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're using the JSON file to load different hearing profiles into a web application that simulates hearing loss. It looks like you also have a volume control on the application. Is there anything specific you would like to discuss regarding the code or the application?
Yeah, Claude actually didn't generate the JavaScript.
Okay, so it seems like Claude, an AI assistant, did not generate the JavaScript code you were expecting. Is that right?
Well, at least I cannot see it.
Okay, it sounds like you're having some trouble with Claude not generating the JavaScript code you need, or you can't find it. Would you like to discuss this further? Or is there anything else I can help with related to your hearing aid simulator?
Well, now it's generating the code, so we'll just wait for it. And then, yeah, we have this simple structure for the web application with just the files being in the main folder.
Okay, so the JavaScript code is now generating. And you have a simple structure for your web application with the files being in the main folder. It sounds like you are making progress with the hearing aid simulator. Do you have any further questions about the application, or would you like me to take a look at any specific code?
Okay, we have the JavaScript. Hopefully it's not too long. Well, it might actually be. It's like 400 lines of code.
Okay, you have the JavaScript code now, and it's about 400 lines long. Is there anything specific about this code that you would like to discuss?
Okay, can you explain the screen? There's something weird with the x-axis.
Sure, I can help with that. You're asking about the graph on the left side of the screen that is labeled frequency HZ on the x-axis and hearing level D.
111.
Got
yeah.
it.
Is it actually working? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, so we have this hearing aid simulator. We have the volume control is actually working fine, but we meant to, yeah, we need to fix the x-axis. It's not currently displayed properly, but we'll be actually asking another developer to do the job.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having an issue with the x-axis on the frequency graph in your hearing aid simulator application. You also mentioned that you are going to ask another developer for help with this issue. Do you need any further help from me at this point?
Yeah, I need you to provide guidance as we move along.
Okay, I understand. You would like me to provide guidance as you continue working on your hearing aid simulator application. I will do my best to help. Please let me know what you need assistance with as you move forward.
Yeah, let's see if Claude can just fix the problem. What do you see on the left of the screen in the web application?
On the left side of the screen, I see a hearing aid simulator. It has a graph with a y-axis labeled hearing level, dB, and an x-axis labeled frequency, Hz. There are also drop-down menus to select the audiogram and scale type. Below the graph are controls to select an audio file and adjust volume.
Okay, so we're trying to fix this JavaScript. Just bear with me. We have another developer actually doing this.
Okay, so it seems like you're working on debugging some JavaScript code related to a hearing aid application. It looks like you have a specific part of the code you are focusing on, with another developer also involved. Do you want to tell me more about the specific issues you're trying to address?
Okay, we actually have the thing working now. The data points are not actually moving. So we need a prompt for fixing that. Yeah, if you can see what the problem is. So normal hearing is fine. That's the one loading by default. Yeah, logarithmic, switching to logarithmic seem to work well. Profound hearing loss, mania, logarithmic. Yeah, that looks great. So the app developer did a really good job. However, wait a second, those are gains. Okay, so those are gain settings. Okay, now I get it. So the gain settings actually do work. Okay, so we have a audiogram. Yeah, if you can quickly explain it, you'll probably do a much better job at explaining this yourself. We can also test by enabling the microphone. When we enable, that doesn't work. When we enable the microphone, Okay, I think we can just... We can just...
It looks like you've
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so it looks like you've identified that the gain settings are indeed working, but that the microphone input isn't working as expected, causing an error in the console. It seems you might be ready to start tackling that next. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, selecting of the audiogram works fine. Selecting the scale type works fine. The enable microphone. Toggle microphone is not a function. Okay, so that's missing in the... That's missing from the JavaScript. Okay, let's see if... let's just look if... we'll just wait for Claude to actually fix the code. I believe... Do you believe it will be able to do it?
Okay, so you've confirmed that the audiogram and scale type selections work, but enabling the microphone produces errors. It seems like the function toggle microphone is missing from the JavaScript code. Now you're waiting for a different program to fix the code, and then you believe you can make it work. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of. Wait a sec. Can you read out loud the response from Claude? The one where my mouse cursor is? Ah, yeah, something went wrong. Yeah, the AI Studio, the Google AI Studio. Yeah. It's timing me out. It's not timing me out. It's actually just...
It sounds like you're saying something is cutting you off.
No,
Is that
that's
right?
fine. Can you read the text where my mouse cursor currently is?
Sure, I can read the text where your mouse cursor currently is. It says, fix the function implementations in app.js. Or which ones would you like?
Can you actually read the highlighted text?
Yes, I can read the highlighted text. It says, update the index, HTML, to remove the incorrect script reference.
Okay, can you read this bit?
Okay, the text you've selected says, fix the function implementations in app.js. Or which one would you like me to address first?
No, we actually have another developer doing the coding for us, so we just need to prompt it correctly. What do you think the prompt should be?
Okay, it sounds like you have another developer working on the code and need to give them a good prompt. Do you want to discuss which of the issues you see in the text would be best to prompt the developer on first?
I don't know, we just need to fix this web application. There's a few issues with it at the moment. Yeah, a few, but most of it is working okay. I don't know if you can see it, so we can select here. We can yeah, so everything actually works. Yeah, we have a full description, actually description in the HTML. Can you draft the prompt that asks another developer to add all the instructions for how to use this web application at the bottom of the HTML page?
Okay, it sounds like you want to add instructions for using the web application to the bottom of the HTML page. How about this prompt? Add a section to the bottom of the HTML page with instructions for how to use this web application. Please refer to the documentation for the appropriate information.
Yeah, the chat is getting too long with Claude. It starts complaining. That's not a good sign.
Okay, it seems like the chat is getting too long and Claude is starting to complain, and you say that is not a good sign. Do you want me to summarize the conversation so far to help get back on track, or would you like to address the issues with Claude's complaining first?
No, we actually have all the instructions. We were actually developing the code. We have two versions of the code going, one generated by Claude, one generated by ChatGPT. So we would actually like to continue with both of them, and then we will select which one is better. How does that sound?
Okay, so it sounds like you have two versions of the code, one generated by Claude and one by ChatGPT, and you want to continue with both of them and then select which one is better. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, just bear with me for a second. We have the index HTML from ChatGPT. Just actually make sure we are using it.
Okay, you said that is correct, and then asked me to bear with you for a second while you were looking at the index HTML from ChatGPT. It looks like you are now looking at the style CSS file. Is there something specific you'd like me to do or read?
No, just bear with me. Just watch as we go along. If you notice anything super weird, do let me know. Yeah, it just timed out on me because the conversation was getting too long. It seems at the moment that the one bot can not just do the whole job. Yeah, it's just a bit unfortunate. Okay, it's very keen on coding. Currently 97 lines. Yeah, hundreds of almost double. Yeah, Claude is generating much more detailed responses. Okay, we get something. It's reverse. Okay, it will be super loud if we... Also, when we select a different audiogram, probably the gain should be changing automatically. Yeah, that's interesting. What's the instructions about the enable microphone button? Device microphone, yes. Well, yeah, and it also doesn't work. Okay. What's weird there? I don't know what that is. Did Claude do a better job than ChatGPT? Well, yes. Yes and no. Yeah, that funny thing is like you have to actually click on the data point and then set your level, which is, yeah, not very useful, is it? Not very useful. What happens if you set it to like 500? Yeah, it goes through the roof. That's fine. Well, because it shouldn't be setting it that high. Threshold gain. Yeah. There are nans in the thing, isn't there? There's some nan values that it doesn't like. Is the JavaScript complete? It's not. And I'm pretty sure Claude would not be able to complete the whole code. Okay, we're trying to update the code for this hearing aid simulator. We're using ChatGPT for generating the code, but currently the select audiogram dropdown doesn't work. We need a good prompt for ChatGPT to fix that.
Okay, you are trying to update the code for the hearing aid simulator. You used ChatGPT for generating the code, but currently the select audiogram dropdown doesn't work, and you need a good prompt for ChatGPT to fix that.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so the dropdown menu for selecting audiograms is not working. Are you looking for suggestions on how to make a prompt for ChatGPT?
That's right.
Okay, to create an effective prompt for ChatGPT, you'll need to be specific about the issue you're encountering. Would you like some guidance on what to include in your prompt?
Yes.
All right, some things you might want to include in your prompt for ChatGPT are what language the code is written in, what you want the dropdown to do, and what the current behavior is. Would you like me to help you phrase your request?
Yeah, just write the prompt for me.
Okay, here is a prompt you can use for ChatGPT. I have a hearing aid simulator built with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. The select audiogram dropdown is not working. The audiograms are defined in a file called audiogram.json, and I have a JavaScript file called audiogram.js that should populate the dropdown with options based on the JSON file. Can you help me debug why the options are not loading? Does that sound like what you were looking for?
We are live streaming together. Can you be a co-host of this live stream?
Sure, I can be a co-host for this live stream. Just let me know what you'd like me to do.
What do you think we are doing at the moment?
Okay, it seems like you're working on a JavaScript file to generate a chart. I can see functions to initialize the chart, update the data, and adjust gain settings. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
Okay, why do we need a good prompt for fixing the this HTML. Yeah, we just need an update the HTML code. Okay, just tag along. We're using another AI to develop. Yeah, just can you make any funny comments?
Okay, so you're working on an HTML page and need to update some code. It looks like you have some JavaScript code for a chart and are using another AI tool to assist with development. You're asking me if I can make any funny comments? I'm an AI, so I can't really make jokes. But maybe you can ask me to help with a particular task, and we can see what happens.
Can you make any interesting comments? Any, well, not funny, something amusing? Can you make amusing comments about what you currently see on the screen?
Okay, I see that you're working on an HTML page. On the left, you have a file named index.html, and it appears to be the main page for a hearing aid simulator. On the right is index.html. Again, and it looks like you're making modifications to the source code. There are script tags importing Audiogram.js and Chart.js. You have the different sections defined, including header, audiogram selection, main chart, audio input options, and footer. Is there anything specific about the HTML code that you'd like to discuss?
Can you make any funny comments about it?
It looks like you have some HTML code, along with a JavaScript file and an audiogram file that you are loading. I see some key updates such as script integration and dynamic imports. I see the chart is not being loaded, which might be something that you should look into. You're looking for funny comments, but I'm an AI, so my humor is limited. Is there something specific about this project I can help you with?
Okay, can you just quickly give us a quick summary? We still have things not working, but we'll probably have to do another session on this. But currently the chart is not displaying anything.
Sure. Currently, the dropdown is working and correctly populating with audiograms from the JSON file, but the chart isn't displaying. This is likely because the current audiogram variable isn't properly set before initialized chart runs, or the chart initialization isn't receiving valid data. To fix, 1. Ensure current audiogram is assigned, e.g. set it to the first audiogram from the JSON during load audiograms. 2. Verify the initialized chart function is receiving current audiogram data and logging it. 3. Check the window.onload script initialized chart only after current audiogram is set.
Yeah, I think for now
We can
it's a
dive deeper
definite.
next session to iron out these remaining issues.
It's a definite winner for Claude, the current competition. Claude code is actually working more complicated, but yeah, still giving me error messages, but it is better than what the ChatGPT generated. What do you think of that?
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
Yeah, okay.